Hi, if you can see me, hear me, please give me a hi in the comment box. Please give me a hi in the comment box. Super excited to be here with you today live and talk to you and tell you something about emotions today. But before that, I just want to tell you that, I want to ask you this one question and I want you to answer that in the comment box. Tell me, whom do you need to deal with to be successful or make money? Whom do you need to deal with to be successful or to make money? Whether you are in the job, whether you are in the business. Right, people, right? People. Today, I want to talk to you about something that can stop you from being successful because you're dealing with people. Whether you're in the service industry, whether you're in the product industry, everything is related to people, because when you give something to the people, people give you money back. So it's very transactional, right? So are our emotions. So I want to talk to you today about how the emotions can come in the way of you achieving your dream success. So if you are excited to hear about it, type in the comment box, excited, super excited to hear about. And you can also type emotions, okay, emotions. So let me get this here to you around the emotions, okay. So what happens is when something happens in the past, okay, or you have had a past experience of something, you create a future open door or a closed door. Now let me tell you what I mean by that, okay. When some experience comes to you, or when something you go through in the past, maybe you are a child or maybe you are at any age, like you faced a certain thing in the past, it just, the emotions at that point of time through that experience which are generated get stored in the body. Yeah, your mind is extremely smart, okay, because and your mind is very sharp and smart, and it also keeps all the records, because the mind's primary function is to keep you safe and keep you happy. So anything that makes you feel sad is a threat for your mind. So in case if you have been through experiences which are not so great experiences, like suppose you went for a public speaking, suppose like you went for a public speaking and there something happened and you were a child and you stood there and you suddenly forgot everything that you had prepared for. Now people are laughing at you, people are looking at you with expectation, and you have no clue what to speak. You just froze there. You just froze there, and then somebody came and just took you away. Now this particular experience is directly lodged in your memory, and it is lodged and it is kept in your memory for the future reference. Now what happened? It's not just about being on a stage and talking to people, public speaking. It's about everything that you will be doing where you're pitching or you're selling something to people. That could come anywhere. Like if you're in the job, you may be selling an idea to your boss, or you may be telling the boss that you need raise. Now immediately that experience from your mind will come back to you. Maybe not consciously, but unconsciously come back to you and feel, oh my God, I can't talk to people. Or suppose you are a homemaker, or even if you're a parent who's trying to tell something to your child and you want to convince your child about your idea. Now, if you're a parent, you know how difficult it could be sometimes to talk to your child and tell the child that what you're saying is right. Okay, so if you want to tell your child, you're selling an idea to a child, and that time when you're trying to talk to your child and your child is looking at you with expectation, suddenly that experience comes back to you, somewhere back in the mind, that emotion is generated and you freeze. Now you are not able to convincingly tell your child why what you're saying is important, or why you're saying has a valid or substance to it that the child should follow you. Or if you are in the business. Now if you're in the business of selling anything, selling products, suppose. So going and talking to a distributor or talking to your team or anything for that matter is going to be challenging, because back of the mind, talking to somebody has become an experience which is not pleasurable. It's a painful experience. And remember, what did I say? I said your mind will always keep a note of painful experiences because it wants to keep you safe. It doesn't want you to go through the pain again. So every time you come up with a certain thing that you want to tell something to somebody or sell some idea to somebody, that thing inside you will keep chattering and tell you how it is not appropriate, or it will keep coming back to you. That little voice inside you will keep telling you that you shouldn't do it, because you don't want to go through the shame, because you don't want to feel the rejection, because you don't want to freeze again, you don't want to make your boo-boo again. So that's what happens in the mind, because mind's job is to keep you safe and happy. Because the moment that that experience is going to be repeated, you're going to feel extremely ashamed of yourself and you're going to regret talking. Now, if you are someone who's looking forward to become a leader, you can imagine, or if you're already leading your teams, you can imagine how detrimental this emotion could be for you. And that's the reason I said the past experience, the emotion which is generated through that past experience can open a door for you or close the door for you. It can create actually a block or a wall in your mind. So what do you do about it? What do you do about it? Because what has happened in the past, if suppose you've gone through some sort of a experience which is a hurtful experience, where does the experience come from? The hurtful experience comes from people, isn't it? Who hurts you? These are going to be people. And whom do you need to deal with when you need to be successful or want to make money? People. Now your mind doesn't understand. The people have different categories and you have grown above. The mind is frozen, or mind is probably at the space where most of your mind or subconscious mind is developed till the age of 7 or 9. Most of it, 90% of it is developed at that point of time. And at that time, you don't have so much of a power to retaliate or to tell people that, this is not right. I don't want to do it this way. I don't want to do it this way. You don't have that power. So what you do is you quietly take everything what's happening in your space, and that forms your identity, that forms your belief about yourself, that forms your belief about in general the world. And every thought or every belief rather, belief is what? Belief is a truth that you believe, that there's a thought which there is some truth that you feel. It generates a certain emotion. Now it depends on, a emotion is a happy emotion or an emotion which is a sad, angry, frustrated, depressed, or that kind of an emotion which is a negative sort of an emotion. And what are these emotions? What is the back of your mind going on? Now generally, you may not be a sad person, you may be extremely happy person, and you may be functioning very well in certain scenarios, but when there are certain scenarios come up, like the way I narrated you one of it, you may be just not be able to perform, and you would wonder what is going wrong. Why am I not able to do this? That's because your mind is again and again flashing that past memory to you without even you being aware of it. So the most important thing that you need to do is you need to get over any emotional block if you have. Like, I'll give you an example of one of my clients, that my client who is in a vacuum cleaner business. He's a manufacturer of vacuum cleaners. He wanted to do big business, okay? He wanted to do big business, and he was not able to understand why is he not able to do it. Why is he not able to do the big business? Or he cracks small orders, but whenever it comes that he want to do something big, why is he not able to do it? And when we started talking and when we understood what is happening here, I just, in a couple of sessions, I got a hang of it, that probably there's something going on deeper there in terms of his father, because the questions that I was asking him, it was leading to certain thing where he always was giving me answer, oh, my childhood was brilliant, everything was great, we had everything at home, we didn't have any issues. But something was not right. Now it was so subtle that he was not even able to understand. Me being an objective person and me being a coach, I could understand there is something there which is not in congruency with what he's speaking. And believe me, he wasn't even aware of that fact because it was so buried deep down in his subconscious mind that he wasn't aware of it. He wasn't faking it that everything is fine, but he wasn't genuinely aware of it. And then when I probed a little bit more, and when I told him that, how was his, specifically when I asked him how was his relationship with his father, initially he said, oh, it was very good, and it was amazing. He was in police, and he was a great man, and he served well, and he did such a good job, all of that. And then I asked him this question that, so how much time did you spend with him together? Like, how much time did you spend together with your father? And I suddenly saw the facial expression changing, and the tightness of jaws and all of that coming in. The frown came up suddenly, like he became that little young child, And then he said that, oh, I hated, my father was never around. My father was never around. He was all the time busy. We got everything. We had good food. We had, he never stopped us, or rather, I got to do everything that I wanted to do, but I somehow never got him. And one fine day, he just passed away. And I still feel that anger, that lack, I still feel that I didn't get to see, or didn't get that time with my father. I didn't get that love, that affection. Now that anger was constantly, you see the connection he was building there. He wasn't feeling love. And whenever he was going to do his big sale or big job or big something, he was getting back to that child inside him, was all the time pulling him down, because that anger was weighing him down so much, and he wasn't even aware of it. So there are so many such emotions or blocks you may be having that you aren't aware of. What I want you to do today after watching this video is I want you to think of something that is not going right in your life. Okay, I'm going to give you an exercise right now. That what is that something that is not going right in your life? And I want you to take out a diary, or generally I would prefer that you should keep a diary with you, like just like this. Like I always have various diaries with me. Like this is my diary where I'm writing if I come up with something that I feel that I want to get over certain kind of an emotional block. So I'm going to give you a process right now that can help you get over that emotional block that might be you're not aware of, first of all, and there's a possibility that even if you're aware of, you don't know how to get over. So I want you to type in a comment box and tell me if you're ready with a pen and paper. So type ready in the comment box, type ready. Okay, thank you very much for that. So now I want you to do this process. Okay, I want you to do this process every single day. Okay, every single day I want you to do this process. You have to write a journal, okay? And in that journal, I want you to write these 8 questions that I'm giving you, okay? And I want you to think and write the answers. Anything that is probably not working in your life or you want in your life, for that, this process is very, very effective. So just take your pen and paper and start writing. The first question is, what do you want? Be very specific about what do you want. Write down exact thing that, and do this process whenever you sit for this process. Do one thing at a time. Don't do too many things. That's why I said do this process every day. Give it some time. Do this process every day. It will help you. Take one thing at a time and write what do you want. Okay. The second question is, you have to ask yourself, what is in the way of me getting that thing? What is in the way? Write the answer of that. What's coming in between you and that goal or that dream that you have? And I'm 100% sure you will see a pop-up of a face, or you will see something coming up. Many times that pop-up would be your own face, or if not, it could be anybody, like your your family member, your teacher, your friend, your ex-boss. It could be anybody. Just the pop-up, and just trust the process, okay? Don't try to logicalize, oh my God, I don't know from where it is coming. Don't do that. Just pick it up, just take that and just write it down, okay? The third way, okay, the third thing you have to do is, who is in the way? First is, okay, what is in the way? The third is, who is in the way? Now you may have similar answers to both, or sometimes the answers could be different. Now, as I said, that if you want, like, let me give you an example of this. Suppose you want to pitch your idea to an investor, or you want to ask for a raise from your boss. Now that is what you want, right? Now what is in the way? What is in the way is your inability to probably create a good plan, business plan, so that you can show it to the investor, or your inability to ask for that raise is what is in the way. Now when you ask a question, who's in the way, that's where probably you will be able to see someone's face, or maybe your face. As I said, somebody's will pop up there. Okay, so write that down. Then when that person's face pops up, you just have to write down what happened. What happened with this person? You may initially, it may take little longer time to understand it, but as you do it every single day, your brain and your mind will start giving you the answers. Understand one thing, your mind is extremely smart and has all the memories to tell you what must have happened. Okay, so write about what must have happened at that time. Now the next question is, how did you feel in that experience? So when you start writing about the experience, you will definitely go back to that space and you will be able to tell how did you feel. Now these are the exact questions I ask my clients when they are sitting in their chair. Okay, exact questions. I'm giving you those exact questions to ask yourself. So how did you feel? The next question is, once you've written it down, the next question is, what do you want to happen now? So what do you want to happen now? Like suppose that experience happened in the past and it didn't go the way you wanted it. So how would you want that experience to happen now? So rewrite that experience. If it wasn't good for you, rewrite that experience. How would you want? Like suppose I was giving you an example of standing on the stage and not able to speak, and you forgot your lines, you forgot your speech and everything. Like everybody was like looking at you, they were expecting you to talk and you were just frozen. And so now when you have an opportunity, what would it be? How would you like to rewrite that experience? So rewrite that experience in terms of it went really well, how people appreciated, they all clapped for you, there was a standing ovation for you, and you got an offer again to talk on the next event and stuff like that. So what would you want? How would you want to feel? How would you want it to happen now? The next question is, forgive. Whom would you like to forgive at this point of time? And I would definitely ask you to write your name along with the other person's name. Because the most important fact is, most people fall into the emotional block trap because they are not able to forgive themselves. Either they are feeling guilty, or they feel the regret that they could have done something else that they could not. So what you need to do is, you first need to forgive yourself, and then you have to write the other person's name whom would you like to forgive. And the eighth and the last question, which is very, very critical question, okay? Now see, you're removing your emotional block and the experience that has happened in your life. You're rewriting the experience. But understand one thing, that experience has also given you your lessons. And you don't want to forget the lessons. You may want to forgive people, but you don't want to forget your experience and lessons. So what you need to do is, in this, you need to write down what are the things that you learned from that experience. Those lessons are very, very important for your future, for your progress, and that is why they have happened. See, those experiences have shaped you so far in your life for what you are. And if you see, how much ever we want to grow big, we look at the failures all the time, but that experience has also shaped your identity and made you who you are. And this person has also been successful. You don't want to negate that. You want to take everything with you. So that experience is very, very critical. That was very critical for you to progress in your life. So what did you learn? Those specific learnings, write them down. It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3, 4, 5, sometimes it could be 10 lessons in one experience. So I want you to write this. And I really urge you, if you really want to get over all your emotional blocks, write every single day. Initially it might take you some time, but eventually it will become very easy and the answers will just keep coming very, very fast. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is, after you have heard me, you listen to me, first of all, I want to tell me how many of you are committed to do this exercise every single day. Type 100% committed in the comment box. Type 100% committed in the comment box. Thank you very much. Thank you for commenting that. Okay. Now what I want you to do is, I also want you to write your 1 to 3, okay, at least 3 ahas that you got during this while listening to me. At least 3 ahas that you got while listening to me. I'm sure you must have touched upon some of your experiences while I was talking to you. So I want you to write it down. I want you to write in the comment box. I'm reading all your comments. I would love to know what are some of the experiences that you got in your life that shaped up your life so far, and you feel it has served you, whatever it was, and now you no longer need to keep that experience as it is. By the way, the experience that I was sharing about the freezing on the stage was my own experience, because I remember when I was in 4th standard and there was some event in the school and I had prepared amazing speech, and it was like my mother told me once that, before the speech, a night before the speech, when my mother woke me up for something, like I had fallen off to sleep, she woke me up for something, I started talking in my sleep the same speech. I was so well prepared for the speech, okay? And when I went on the stage the next day, and when I saw the whole assembly in front of me, I just forgot everything. And the biggest thing that happened after that experience, I never ever prepared a speech and went on the stage. I did go on the stage, but I always believed that I'm an impromptu person and I just started talking in front of the people. Now there were goods and bads of that, because when you have a slot of 5 minutes, you can't just go impromptu talk anything and everything. You must know what are your points, and I would just refuse to prepare. The moment I worked on that experience, I got my lessons, I forgiven myself, I just, let go of everything, that whole emotional block. Today you give me 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 hours, I'm prepared to talk. And because I'm prepared, not word by word, but because I'm prepared, like today I'm talking to you, I'm prepared. I know where I want to start and where I want to end this live, because there is a way that you take people from one point to the other point. For everything, be it you want your raise in the job, be it your business idea, be it like you want to be a bigger business or bigger sales, or whatever it is in your life, you want to take that person from one point to another point, and you must be prepared in your mind, where do you want to take that person to. And the moment I got over this emotional block, I became the best public speaker. In many occasions, I've been awarded as a best public speaker, but it wasn't earlier like that. And that was one experience that shaped my entire life. So what is it for you? I would really love to know from you, what was that one experience that shaped your life, but now you know that it is also probably has become an emotional block for you. I would look forward to read your comments. Thank you very much once again for being with me on this live, and I will see you soon on the next live. Bye bye.